we have someone already joined on Instagram.
Excellent.
Awesome. Getting all set up for our first coffee witches talk.
Coffee and crochet goes together great.
Yes.
If you're crocheting along, chain 2 and put 8 half double crochets in the second chain from the hook.
Mhm. I am still getting used to having nails again.
That is something that crafters, although you are definitely a crafter too.
Yes.
It's a different experience crafting with nails.
Mhm.
I have to have mine rounded and smooth and short. Otherwise, the yarn gets snagged on them. Okay. 2 half double crochets in each stitch around.
Okay. Now the connection. No, not for kids.
We're not for kids. We just don't want to be officially for kids. Because who knows? Crazy Cheese joined us.
Ah, nice.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Anybody out there crochet?
Crocheting is wonderful.
I crochet for fun and profit, and I also use it in my magical practice. I wrote this book. Let's see from there. Fiber Magic, a witch's guide to spell casting with crochet, knotwork, and weaving.
All right, we are now officially live on YouTube.
Oh man, we're all over the place.
We're all live. We're on Clapper, Instagram, and YouTube. So since this is our first Witches Coffee Talk, welcome everyone. I'm Moon, the new member coordinator for the Grove, and this is...
I'm Opal, president of the Grove, and I'm also the author of Fiber Magic, a witch's guide to spellcasting with crochet, knotwork, and weaving.
Mm-hmm. So, for this first coffee talk, let's talk about weather.
Oh boy, it rained here yesterday.
Yes. You know the season has changed when the weather started to rain.
Mm. Yeah, we have 2 seasons in here in South Florida, tourist season and hurricane season.
Absolutely.
And it can rain any day. Any of those days.
It can rain any day, yes, absolutely. And also, like with the snowbirds, you don't get much rain, but once they leave, then the rain comes. It's typically after the holidays and stuff in April.
Yeah. So right now we're gearing up, but we want to see a lot of wet weather because we don't want it to save itself up for hurricane season. That's no. Mm-hmm. The Grove will be doing a hurricane protection ritual in June, the first Friday of June.
Yeah.
We will be doing that, and this year it's also a full moon.
Yes.
So that's going to be extra special.
Mm-hmm.
And my patron goddess is Minerva.
Mm-hmm.
And way back when in Eurasian times, the the goddess was called Minowa, and she was actually a moon goddess and the goddess of thunder.
Mhm.
So that's going to be an extra special
Yeah.
hurricane protection ritual where we call on Minowa and of the ancient Etruscan gods.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Especially since last year our hurricane season started so early too,
Yes.
because we had a storm actually in May, not in June.
Right, right. We were like, uh-oh, um, emergency hurricane protection ritual.
And it's like, do you still have the candles from the last time?
Yeah, right,
We
right.
might need to burn the rest of it.
Yeah, so pretty soon now, I guess any time now,
Mhm.
we could be doing a special on creating your own hurricane protection candle.
Yes.
And there's a prayer and a poem and everything that you can use to what we do. Now, you don't, it's not prevention because we don't want to prevent any weather because that causes trouble someplace else or,
Yes.
or doesn't do what it's supposed to do. A hurricane is the crone of weather and it stirs up life. So we don't we don't want to prevent the hurricanes, but we want to protect ourselves
Mhm.
from the hurricanes. So we we do shoo shoo and push the hurricane out over the ocean where
Yeah.
it's happiest anyway, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Mhm.
So we'll be doing all that on this channel.
Absolutely. Especially with the whole season of flooding already,
Mhm.
because down here it's already flooded to the point that some streets were not even passable today.
Yeah. And yeah, yesterday was a mess. And I I live like right up against the Everglades and you would think I would be in a swamp, but I got good drainage
Yeah.
in my yard, so it's already the birds are already out chirping again here,
Yeah.
so that's nice. We put in a vegetable garden last week and it didn't get washed away. So very happy and the herbs are going strong, so yeah, we'll take you out into the garden
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
Sometime we'll be doing this on a regular basis.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, since talking about hurricane season and stuff,
Hmm.
another good idea is to also magically protect your house too.
Yes.
Doing wards, especially when it comes to water and flooding.
Yeah, you want to make sure that that water, when it's creeping up and
Mhm.
creeping up, it doesn't get inside your house. So that's a good way to protect yourself is to ward around the perimeter of your house.
Mhm.
We have wards on the perimeter of the yard, to keep unwanted things out, human and otherwise.
Yep.
But we also have a perimeter around the structure itself, and it's as easy as charging something that you do anyway with intent.
Yeah.
Like my husband goes around monthly the um, with the insect spray,
Mhm.
right, to keep the bugs out. Okay.
Yes.
So what you can do is you can actually charge an intention when you do that. You're doing it anyway.
Mhm.
So you create a protective barrier, not just for bugs, but for anything else,
Yes.
from coming inside the house.
Yes.
So that's why you can. That's just like little ways you can be a witch every day,
Mhm.
not just on special occasions. Just make it part of whatever you're doing.
Mhm. And also, like, if because I live in a condo and stuff, I typically would have like a plant at the corners of where my condo is, and I will actually put iron into the plant
Ah.
as a protective,
Mhm.
because there are certain magical creatures that do not like iron.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I was
That's
like,
true.
you can go play with the neighbors, but not in my house.
Stay outside.
Yeah, stay outside. You can stay outside. the rain. So like you can see all the different wildlife come out. And like the other day, like when I got home from doing all my grocery shopping, I saw the ducks.
Oh, they love it.
And they were on my patio and stuff because we don't have any clothes yet. And they were just standing there and they were torturing the poor cats. Gaia was not happy and Tarky wanted to have fun with them.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
Yeah, I could just imagine if you opened the door though, those cats wouldn't know what to do with those ducks.
No. No. Absolutely not. So you're making a
Stressapuss.
yes. Just
These are good for stress.
hmm.
It's got a stress ball. We have a friend who works in a lawyer's office, right? And she's given these as gifts to almost every one of them. And she keeps one on her desk, and she says sometimes the lawyers will come by and just pick it up and just start squeezing it like this while they're telling her what to do. So it's good, yeah. So I increased one more time. The third row I increased every other stitch.
Oh,
I
nice.
got 24 stitches around now, and I'm just going to do 4 um, rows
Hmm.
without increasing, so it's just 24 stitches around. And you could get this pattern on fibermagic.com. That's my website. I've got two two stores there. One's a pattern shop where you can download patterns, and then the other one is a custom shop where you can order Stressapuss or anything else you want already made.
Hmm.
I don't have a Etsy shop or anything like that because it's so hard to guess what color people want, or So I do markets, and I do custom orders. So
Hmm.
it just seems better that way,
Absolutely.
easier, than to have all this inventory just sitting there and you
Hmm.
can't do anything with it because it's in your store. And then someone's like, "Do you have a blue one?" No.
No. And then the question is, what color blue?
Right.
That's the other question. Do you want teal, light, dark?
Right. So what I do is there's a form there,
Hmm.
right? And you send me your name and address and email, and it goes to my email, and then we can have a conversation back and forth. I can send you pictures of what I already have, and you could say, "Oh, I need that in a lighter blue," and I'll send you a picture of the lighter blue yarn that I have, something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, not a problem. Then I know how to make one that's totally yours.
And also the way you have your website set up too, it's a lot easier than Etsy
Mm.
because Etsy can be very, very complicated.
Mhm. And then you'd have to pay through Etsy, and I'd have to mail through Etsy,
Hmm.
and that doesn't give you the best deal.
No.
No. So I have Zelle, Venmo, PayPal. You have your choice of how you're going to pay me, and
Hmm.
I use the U.S. mail, something called Pirate Ship, that gives you a pretty good deal. So,
Nice.
and my stuff is light. It doesn't cost very much.
Yeah.
So usually $5 is all that I need to send it to you, unless you get something really
Yeah.
big and heavy.
Unless you get multiple items and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Then it's a little bit more.
But then we can make a deal. If you get multiple items,
Yeah.
that's a big
Yeah,
ticket.
that's a big ticket. It is.
I don't mind giving you a little deal there.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think now, since like the internet has made it easier for fellow witches to be able to actually promote themselves, people are starting to do their own stuff, like their own websites and going out on their own, which is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, it's great, and I enjoy watching YouTube videos and things, not just witchy stuff, but
Hmm.
different crocheting. I've learned new stitches, and I've been crocheting since I was 8 years old, so that's like I don't know how many years.
How many years?
Let's not even go there. And I can still learn a new stitch.
Hmm.
So, that's why I tell my students, don't worry about it if, it doesn't look like mine. It looks like yours.
Oh, yes. I remember being at turning the tights and taking your crochet class for the little pouch,
Uh-huh.
and I tried because I'm dominantly left-handed. I cannot crochet left-handed. I had to do it right-handed.
More power to you.
Oh yes.
I do have, I do get lefties in my class quite often, and I have two ways of dealing with that. I'll sit across from someone so they can watch me kind of like they're watching in a mirror, you
Mhm.
know. Or I'll actually, I ask permission first,
Mhm.
but I'll actually put my arms around the person and crochet with them so that they can see that I'm doing it. And I can just barely get through a stitch or two left-handed before my mind blows up.
Well, the reason why like I do a lot of stuff with my right hand is that I was in school and like a lot of I grew up in the South, so if you're left-handed in the South, it wasn't a good, not positive thing.
Right.
But my grandmother fought for us to be left-handed, right left-handed. But like to eat, crochet, art, crafts, it's all in my right hand
Mm-hmm.
because I had to adapt.
You had to do those things around in the public. In
Yes.
the public eye, you had to be
Yeah.
right-handed.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow. Look what I did. I got 7 rows now. Okay, so now I put the little ball in there and he's smiling.
Mhm. Awesome.
So that's good. You got some happy already in there.
Mhm.
Now wait, this is the tricky part, right? You're going to decrease every other stitch,
Mhm.
right? But you're going to do it in the back row only. So you're going to get in there and do one stitch and then do these 2 stitches together,
Mhm.
right? And you do that all the way around so it'll close up the ball. But you're going to have this um, ridge of loops here, and that's what you're going to put the legs in.
Nice.
You're going to crochet the legs in that.
Yes.
All right,
Awesome.
continue on.
As you're crocheting, I bring up some topics. This is how we do it.
How we do it.
How we do it. And talking about like social media, I know some people have asked me why we don't really do a TikTok for the Grove. The Grove does have a TikTok, but the reason why I really don't post a lot on it is because TikTok does not enforce their guidelines.
Mm.
Because when someone creates a fake account, it's like next to impossible to get it removed.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I hope that nothing else gets ruined like that. You know, that's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
But haters gotta hate.
Yes. Oh yes. So now, going through social media, I think moving forward with social media, I think a lot of the practitioners of different practices will use different social media platforms and tell it and make it in a way that they are going to be more successful.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's some fellow witches I follow on TikTok that have wonderful YouTube channels and has wonderful content on different platforms like Instagram. They can actually do like the photos and stuff too.
Yeah, yeah. I have an Instagram account, Fiber Magic, and I like it because I can take photos as I'm making something and then string them all together, make a little reel. I'll put the photos individually
Mhm.
and then I'll put the photos all together with a little tune or something, you
Yeah.
know, and I can put it everywhere. All right,
Awesome.
next row, go through both and just decrease all the way around. So you're closing up that hole.
Nice. It's so magical watching you crochet. It is. It is.
I used to crochet a lot when we were at Grove meetings, and I would notice that people were like out of the corner of the eye, they were watching me, paying more attention to me than they were the presentation. So I thought, well, that's rude. I think I'll just sit here and listen politely. But you know, if you're ever presenting or, doing a TED Talk or whatever you do,
Mhm.
and you see me in the audience crocheting, rest assured, I am paying attention. I'm paying better attention with the crocheting in my hand than I would be without it, because without it, I get fidgety.
Yes.
I call this my fidget with purpose, because I'm going to fidget for an hour and then I'm going to have a stressapuss when I'm done, instead of just having a torn up piece of paper or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna cut it now. I'm fasten off, and then I'm going to weave this little end back and forth through the last 8 stitches. I started with 8 stitches and I ended with 8 stitches, and then I can cinch it up, and I'll have a covered ball.
Nice.
And you could do just this and make this ball, put a face on the ball and just, make it anything you want. I have somebody that wanted one like this. She wanted one big eyeball. Okay, weirdo. No. hey, I'm not gonna. I do not judge you. I will crochet anything. You can attest to that. I've crocheted some weird stuff.
Yes, I can attest to that. She has crocheted some weird stuff. But it's been beautiful.
And useful to whoever needed it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now you got this ball, but you've got this ridge here. So you do another slip stitch, and you reattach your yarn to any one of these little loops that you left unworked, right? And I like to do it this way, because this way you got more of this part to hold on to instead of doing it the other way and just hanging on to the end. You got the whole ball in your hand. Now you chain 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And now you go back, putting 2 stitches, 2 half double crochet stitches in each chain down the way. And when you do this, it makes a ruffle, and the little leg twiddles up like this. So you get that movement in the legs. It curls around. And that's all there is to it.
Can you bring it over to the main camera? Yeah. I mean, like the big one that you show the legs.
Super. Yeah. Here, you play with that. They are addictive.
They are.
And they're not just for stress, they're good exercise. I have a friend who has carpal tunnel, and she uses one when she's on the computer for a while. That's the best place for them to reside, because those little legs will make it so that they'll sit right on top of your computer screen.
Oh, yes.
Right? And then you've got, see how it's turning? It's curling as I put 2. It's all about the geometry.
Yes.
Because you've got 16 stitches on one side of your leg, and you've got 32 stitches on the other side. So it's going to be wider and thus curl.
Absolutely.
I love sacred geometry. I love to apply my crocheting to magic. It really is. You wiggle your wand. It's my wand. You wiggle your wand, and then boop, get a Stressapuss.
Absolutely. So what's the upcoming class for tomorrow night at the Grove?
Tomorrow night I'm going to be presenting. Okay. Tomorrow night just happens to be a waning crescent moon. And we always talk about new moon rituals and full moon rituals, but what can you do during the waning crescent moon? Well, that's a time for banishing.
Yes.
And so my presentation will be entitled banish like a good witch. Because a lot of people have a negative connotation on banishing.
Yeah.
Like you're hexing people or,
Mhm.
getting rid of things. Well, you're getting rid of things, but you're getting rid of things that need to be gotten rid of.
Absolutely.
So during this waning crescent moon, we're going to go over some simple ways to get rid of any fears or negative feelings that you have that might have gotten in the way of the last new moon's intentions that you set, and so that you can be ready to make new ones or reaffirm the old ones at the next new moon.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. And it does also depend on your different practices too, because I'm a devotee of Santissima. Um, so her moon phases are a little bit different, but definitely for like banishment and getting rid of negative stuff, it's typically during the darker part of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're doing like a very heavy protection that has a little bit of spice to it,
Mm-hmm.
you typically do it on the dark full moon. So your people who want to do things don't know what you're doing.
Ah,
So
secrets.
it's in secret and it's done in a cloak of darkness that they cannot see.
Excellent. Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. So some of the things we're going to do tomorrow, we're going to make a little blessings candle, which could be made for anything. But what we're going to do tomorrow is make it up with a little black tea light and a purification oil.
Mhm.
So that would be a little light. You could light that little candle, and then you can take all your fears and doubts and burn it right into that fire.
Yes.
And we're going to do the Gordian knot. I do that in my knot magic class, and everybody seems to enjoy it. Where you make the knots of the witch's ladder, like with knot of one, this spell's begun. But you do them right on top of each other, and you do them as tight as you can. And if you remember the story of the Gordian knot, it was such a tangled up knot that it couldn't be untied. And then Alexander the Great said, "It makes no difference how it's loosed," and he cut it in half with his sword. So that once we totally trap all of our negativity in that knot, we pick up our scissors and we cut it to ribbons.
Yes.
It's very physical, and people really enjoy it. People will start, like grunting and howling and just like growling at this knot, and it gets rid of it. So it's going to be fun.
Awesome. It will be plenty of fun.
Yes, and we will be live.
Mhm.
We'll be doing it live. So if you want to join us, have a piece of rope and have a little tea candle and some oil. It doesn't have to be fancy. It could just be olive oil. Um, I'm going to get a little fancier than that, and then you can have a recipe for next time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and then we will replenish ourselves. Have 2 cups. Have a cup of water
Mhm.
and a cup with your favorite beverage in it, and we will refresh ourselves. And we will be ready for that new moon to set our intentions and keep going.
Yeah.
Never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up.
It's very interesting when you start looking at the different practices and different ways that witchcraft is used and how to banish things. You get a whole new perspective of what you can do with
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. And stop thinking about it as a negative or an evil practice, because any cleansing is a banishing.
Yeah.
You're getting rid of dirt. Washing your dishes is a banishing. You're getting rid of the food. You're getting rid of the dirt. So think of it that way, and then it's not as scary.
And also, in the cultures and stuff I grew up in, typically during a waning moon, you will do like a heavy duty spiritual cleansing bath.
Yes. Well, the recipe is for a cleansing bath salt that then I take a little bit of and put it in the oil to use as purification oil.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so that and of course I'll have some shortcuts to share with you because I like to think of myself as the supermarket Strega. I will get I will buy it at the supermarket if possible. And so these bath salts will be not not too expensive. Like you don't have to go and buy crazy things at the metaphysical shop to make a because really salt and vinegar you can do anything with, right?
Salt, vinegar, also rosemary, like fresh rosemary for a spiritual bath, like coconut milk, the actual milk of the coconut. It also depends on your different practices too, and your heritage, where you come from, will be tailored to your spiritual baths or spiritual cleansing.
And you can get all those things at the grocery store.
Yes.
So when you look in your kitchen first.
Yes, your kitchen is your best friend when it comes to spiritual cleansing.
Okay, so let me show you. So I came back down. I made the whole leg. I'm going to skip one little loop, and I'm going to slip stitch into the next one to attach that leg, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the next one to start the next leg. See, I got 2 legs already.
Nice.
Right? I'm going to have to make 8 of them.
Awesome. You're not going to do 6 like Ursula. You know I had to say it. I had to say it. Because that movie's coming out, and like the designer Ursula is very, very wonderful. But it still is the 6 legs, I think.
6 legs. She's different kind of a thing. Well, what has 6 tentacles? Is there any kind of squid that has 6 tentacles? I don't know.
We gotta look that up.
I gotta look that up. Maybe she's not an octopus at all. But definitely an octopus has 8 legs.
Yes. It does.
8 little legs. And maybe there's some sort of significance. I like to use numerology in my crocheting a lot too. So 6 would be for insight, and 8 would be for success. And if you're feeling lucky, make 7.
Number magic.
Got that going too.
Absolutely. I know at the end of this month we have belting coming.
Ooh, nice. And we're going to have a guest leading our beltane at the Grove. P is a member of the West Palm Pagans, and several members are going to come down and meet us at the park. And I don't know anything about the main ritual except that it's supposed to be all about poetry, pagan poetry. Pagan poetry in the park.
Nice.
And that will be the grand finale of our month of Earth Day. We have a Green Man Alliance at the Grove, and it's the group that does all our environmental activities. We volunteer at the community vegetable garden. We have a vegetable garden in the backyard here at the meat hall where we meet. We raise herbs and things and vegetables for our potlucks and herbs for our magic.
Yes. And
all this month of April, we've been doing different activities under the guidance of the Green Man Alliance. And we have an ongoing activity. We collect used grocery bags, plastic grocery bags. We make plarn. So we're going to have a special day where we just talk about that because there's a lot to that, the Green Man Alliance
the
and
Green Man.
all the things that we do.
Yes, because we have the Green Man Alliance, Friends to Animals.
Friends of Animals, yeah.
And that's where I actually adopted my lovely grandma Tarkin, my cat.
Oh,
He's a handful. We got him from the shelter that we donate to all the time with the Friends of Animals. And I absolutely love him. But that shelter does do a lot of good work.
Nice.
When I first went there to pick out a cat, they're like, the cat chooses you. And I just got stuck in the room. So I had two cats come up. I had a Tortie, and then I had Tarkin come up. And then Tarkin stayed around a lot longer than the little the little one. So Tarkin went home with me.
Nice.
Yes.
That's a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't believe you ever own a cat.
No.
Cat decides to stay with you as long as it's going to stay with you. Then it moves on.
Or it chooses its human.
It chooses its human.
Like little Gaia chooses the husband.
That's Panda's cat.
That's Panda.
We have two cats also, and we had to buy matching T-shirts for our husbands that both say "Best Cat Dad Ever" because they were fighting. Who was the best cat dad ever?
Best cat dad ever. Yep.
So they're in a tie, neck and neck.
Neck and
neck. Best cat dad.
Mm-hmm. And Logan is our little coffee goblin guardian.
Yes.
He sits close to the coffee machine. He's like, hello.
Yes, he does. He knows everybody's going to get to the coffee machine eventually.
Yes. And he's like, opportunity.
I'll get pets if I sit here.
Yes. Absolutely. But also this year during the kitten season, it's been pretty bad with a lot of the cats being dumped too.
Yeah.
Because I was looking on their website where I got Tarkin, and they've just had a huge amount come in.
It's such a shame, you know. People that just let their cats go, making more cats.
Yes.
Lots of there's people here in South Florida, probably everywhere. They trap and release. You know, they fix them up and they release them. Yeah. Otherwise, there'd be even more.
Even more. A huge population. I know currently with the shelters, like especially in Broward and Miami, they're having a hard time keeping up with just the influx of pets, both cats and dogs.
Yeah. Well, sometimes people get animals, and they really didn't think about what it would be like to have an animal, to be responsible for an animal 24/7. Yeah. They can't use them. They think, oh, I'll just get rid of them.
Absolutely.
Right now, Easter time, they probably see in rabbits.
Yes. We've had an influx of rabbits around where I work at, so.
So people are letting them go. These are not wild rabbits,
no.
You know. You can tell they've been from a pet store or whatever.
Every Easter, I was like, just wait about a couple days after, and then you'll start seeing them. That's interesting because they treat them like rabbits. They think rabbits are so easy to deal with. No, it's a trap. It's a trap. I had a rabbit named Lou. It was short for Lucifer, where he wore his teeth out. And he was more like a cat personality. He went to his own litter box and everything.
Wow.
But like with rabbits, you also have to tailor their diet too because they can't eat the pellets constantly.
Right. They need some fresh food.
Like fresh hay, fresh romaine. Like people also give them a lot of carrots too, and carrots are not really good for them either because carrots will actually cause them to have kidney stones.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's not like Bugs Bunny, right?
No.
Don't get your animal husbandry facts from cartoons, folks.
Yes. That's the
Cartoon animals are not real animals.
Yes.
And isn't a rabbit, even the store bought kind, it's a wild animal.
It is.
You can't really, I mean, you can domesticate it to a point, but it's not like a dog or a cat. They're probably not very happy stuck in the house.
No.
And they'll nibble your wires. They'll nibble everything.
Yes.
So you'll find out quick that it's not the picnic you thought it was. And then you'll want them to go away.
Yes. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize how much of a time consuming they are too. Because cats are the most easiest ones.
Yeah, they'll take care of themselves lots of times, and that's why I'm a cat person. People think I'm a meanie because I don't care to have a dog, but they're too needy.
It also depends on how the dog is bred too.
If I was going to have a dog, I'd have a medium-sized dog that's well-trained.
Yes.
I'm not going to have a little teacup anything, yipping, yapping, and, or something that balls me over when I come in the house. I think as a dog trainer, you know that where I'm coming from.
Yes.
So if I was going to make that commitment, I would fully commit and I would train myself how to take care of this animal so that it would be happy and part of the pack, not a crazy thing,
Yes.
Because they really can, a dog can get very neurotic if he doesn't know who the alpha is.
Or who's in charge and stuff.
Right, it's panic time. Oh, nobody's taking care of this situation. Nobody's in charge here,
And like the best thing you can do with like dogs is not let them make those decisions because most times out of 9 out of 10 they make the wrong decision, and it typically lends to like aggression or someone getting hurt or they're hurting themselves.
Yeah, because they've panicked and they're like, oh, I don't know who's in charge here. I better take it upon myself. This is a scary situation. Let's bite the mailman.
But you can also do things to help like spiritually guard your animals too. As well.
I have a friend that does Reiki on animals. So how do you protect your kitties?
My husband takes care of the ritual to Boss.
Oh yeah, that is one of his pantheon. Bass is the cat goddess, Egyptian cat goddess.
It's so funny because like in the morning time when we get up, it's just like you see like the toys are starting to be placed where her altar is. It's like, okay, you guys are going to trip Daddy. Because that's like right in front of his altar and stuff. They put all of their toys. Like I got them 2 new scratching posts, and one like Tar can push one right up to where the altar is.
But he just wants to make an offering to the goddess. And Trip Daddy. No.
And Trip Daddy. Tar is known to just like you walk in front of him, he flops. He becomes a pancake.
Just blends in with the rug so that you either trip over him or stomp him good.
Like my husband, he goes through and he does the spiritual work with them. but also you can get a little collar and put like a little spell bottle on them. But make sure if you do this to seal it correctly with non-toxic items in them.
Yeah.
Because you don't want the cat to open it and then eat the contents.
Exactly. That's for sure.
Because when I do like my offering to Santisima and stuff, and I put like fresh food out, I have to put it in a container with a lid because Tarkin will jump on my altar and try to eat it.
Ooh, snack time.
Snack time. So does Gaia. And when she jumps, it's a little bit worse because she's very heavy. I was like, oh, you're going to break something.
But now, if your goddess is fast and you're using something that the cat can eat, offering it to the cat after the ritual would be a good thing. You just say you have to do it mindfully. You can't just.
That's why, like, there's a little bottle jar of catnip next to bosses.
There you go.
Altar and stuff, so
they can share a little snort with the guy.
Yes. And you just see Gaia just rolling. I was like, oh, potato. I call Gaia the potato because she's big and fluffy, but she's like a mix of, I think, like a tabby cat and a what's the little one?
The Munchkin?
The Munchkin cat. Because she has very Munchkin-like legs. She's very short-legged. And when your husband came in, she just melted in his arms. She's like, oh, who is this stranger?
He is the best cat daddy ever. Don't tell Panda. Look what I did. Yes. I made 8 legs.
You made 8 legs. Awesome.
Ta-da. Ta-da. I'm going to just... This is so easy because you don't have to fluff it. You don't have to put stuffing in it. Because the ball takes care of that, and so you can just put the ends to the inside. Boop.
Awesome.
And that's done. And then you just have to sew on the mouth.
Yes.
And I'll show you how to do that. Easy peasy. Right.
And she's actually sewing on her computer the whole way of how to do it, like facing down as well.
Yeah.
So if you want a more in-depth look, she will have that video posted.
So we got all this from all different angles.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to put a little face on, right? So I'm going to decide where the first eye is. I'm just going to put through and then leave a little end right there. And then I'm going to go around maybe 3 times.
Doing the face.
Yeah, doing the face now. Just get the legs out of there. It's going to want to eat the legs. So do it away from the legs. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3. And then on the 4th time, go up to where you want the next eye, right? And again, 1, 2, 3, and then go down to where you want the mouth. And here's how you do the mouth. Just go over a little ways and come back up just slightly below. And then hook that little loop so that it makes a little mouth like that. See? And then go down and come back out where you started. Okay. Now, you cut it. Okay. And then you tie a knot in these 2. That's never going to come out because you've tied the 2 ends together. It's one continuous piece of yarn. Isn't that pretty nifty?
Oh, yes.
And then you just pull those ends inside the head like that. Tuck it in. Tuck, tuck, tuck. And now you've got your little guy.
Yeah. See? And you also have 3 followers watching.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yeah.
Got folks all over the place.
So, since we've done that, I think it's time to close down our coffee talk and whatnot of the witches.
I think so. We talked about a lot of different things today. We're going to get more organized and choose topics.
Yes.
And go into better detail on those topics. We're just talking about what we could talk about, and we're open to suggestions.
Absolutely.
If anybody wants to put in the comments what they would like us to talk about, any questions, what you'd like to see me crochet, what you'd like to see us do, ritual-wise and spell-wise.
Yeah. And if you like the video and you want to subscribe, just make sure you click the little subscribe button and the bell for notification. And also, this is going to be posted on Spiritual Moon and the Grove and the
Fiber Magic.
Yeah.
So there's 3 different places that you can tune in and like and subscribe, and
it will be. Everyone have a blessed weekend and stay safe and stay dry.
And stay crafty.
Yes.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everyone. And thank you.
That was cool.
Yes.